Tonight, 300,000 people in West Virginia are being told to stay away from their tap water, not to use it for anything, cooking, bathing, washing, anything at all. A chemical spill in the Elk River may have contaminated the drinking water. A federal investigation has been launched into how this happened.
We're now learning that the spill was worse than initially believed. So how long until people can actually drink the water coming out of their own taps?
The problem began here in a storage tank full of chemicals used to process coal. It leaked into the Elk River, supplying water to the entire region. At first, the water company thought the treatment plant could filter it out, but then learned it hadn't.
And what that event has done in a very public manner is said to the rest of the world, no, West Virginia does not have a reliable water system.
Of water quality and the security of water quality.
Even still, we officially trust the water.
Authorities say 7,500 gallons of a toxic chemical used to process coal leaked into the Elk River on Thursday from Freedom Industries, a company just upstream from a water treatment plant. The toxic spill poisoning the water that serves 300,000 people.
What we saw from that chemical spill is that when we don't have water, it creates a serious situation.
Issues of looking at water quality in this state. So it's been a real eye-opener, but it also really points the way to the power of some of these emerging technologies, potentially, maybe not now, but in the future, and of community engagement and being part of how we look at water quality and security in our communities.
When I first found out about the water leak, I was actually in Ripley working for the day, and it was on Twitter. I just checked briefly, and there was a proclamation from Governor Tomblin that said, do not use the water in Charleston. And that was really kind of the gist of it. I didn't know what else to expect, and I was just looking for more answers, as everybody was, I'm sure, but it was just kind of a panic thing, thinking that the water is out. There is no water. Do not use your water.
Have to be protective of that water because so much of our state, so much of our businesses, our economy depends on it. It is not just people who care about the environment. They care about the environment because of its value to the people that live here. So there's a lesson in that, that the less we protect, the more dependent we become on a very, very scarce resource, and the more vulnerable then we are to spills like this.
There were factors that just kind of lined up to help foster this, from the weather to the stress on the water system itself, that helped create an environment where this contaminant could come out and get into the system and then totally shut everything down.
Now, what was surprising to me, and I think surprising to a lot of people, was how susceptible that water source was. So the spill occurs on the Elk River. The Elk River is a water source for that area because it's so clean.
And for me, it was really an education in the entire ecosystem of looking at water. What are the political implications? What are the, there are so many different groups who concern themselves with water. They don't all agree on how you look at water quality.
Residents in these areas aren't aware of it, or if it doesn't become part of what they're conscious of, it has less value. And I can tell other scientists what I'm finding. But again, until the public becomes aware of what's around them, the science has less value. It's taking a step. Maybe it's a small step for science discovery, but it's a huge step in linking people to the science, and that is critical.
I think that ultimately there are two kinds of people in West Virginia, and Charleston especially, in the aftermath of this, and that's the people that don't care and the people that really care. And to arm the people that really care with tools to be able to spot trends and understand the health of West Virginia's public water supply would be beneficial. It's a thing that for someone who has the gumption and the ability to muster themselves to care about this issue enough to take a look into it, it could be a good line of first defense.
That we don't know as much about our waterways as we probably should.
Today, the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection ordered Freedom Industries to cease operations at this facility and to inspect all of its tanks here for leaks.
Now, tonight, officials continue to test the water as they try to determine the extent of the health risk and also how long the water ban will be in place. Brian?
Ann Thompson, Charleston, West Virginia tonight. Ann, thanks.